Hi, Find My Ancestry friends. This is Evan. I'm the host of this channel. I'm a self-taught genealogy researcher, family tree historian, and history nerd. Welcome to this first video in my new series where I'm going to be cooking and sharing recipes from a really old family cookbook that I have. These recipes are 70 to 100 years old. This book also contains some cleaning hints, just little words of wisdom. It's this neat little collection that I believe was assembled for a family reunion or something along those lines. It has all these great little cookbooks. My great-grandmother handed this down to my mom. It's got her handwriting and extra recipes in a lot of places. You can see that it is kind of falling apart. So what I love about these type of recipe books and vintage recipes and why I think they're so fascinating is the ingenuity and resourcefulness that people displayed. So this recipe that I'm making today is for a banana pie, not a banana cream pie, very simple banana pie with no meringue on top. That's probably what you and I are used to when we think of banana pies, banana cream pie. But this is actually just a banana pie. And again, what I enjoy about these recipes is that they use very simple, few ingredients. These are probably things you already have in your pantry. And a lot of the recipes in this book they really harken back to the Depression. There's a recipe for a milkless, flourless, eggless loaf, which is just kind of like a really plain cake. A lot of the recipes are like that. They're either from kind of harkening back to pioneer times all the way to the Depression. And then this one that I'm sharing today is from 1939. So not the Depression anymore, really. We haven't even entered World War II yet. America hasn't, so Pearl Harbor hasn't happened. So my country, America, has not yet entered World War II. However, you can still see that thriftiness and that frugality coming through on these recipes. Another thing I really love about this book that I find really interesting, and I don't know what it says about us, but the recipes are not like steps 1 through 10. In fact, you really need to read ahead because you might find out 6 steps down the road that you were supposed to have already creamed the eggs and the sugar together. So you really need to read ahead and use your brain. It's not all spelled out for you. And there are skills that I think are assumed at the time that mostly women would have had basic things. Some recipes will say, put a meringue on the top of this. Well, today I would have to look up how to make a quick, a meringue for this. So those are just some examples of how these recipes are special and different, why I think they're really fascinating. I try to be so true to the recipe and the future ones, I really want to be true to them as well. The only substitution I made today is, it called for oleo, which I think is margarine. I don't have any margarine, I have butter, and in this economy, I'm not gonna go out and buy margarine. No, I'm kidding. I just already had everything and I figured it's really not that big of a deal to sub in butter for margarine. So other than that, I'm gonna try and remain as true to recipes as I possibly can. This book has recipes that call for ingredients like lard, soap recipes that call for things that I'll have to go out and search for. MSG is an ingredient that you might not have in your pantry today, but it is in a lot of processed foods still, and I personally love it. That's pretty much what makes things like Cheetos and things like that taste good, is MSG. So it gets no hate from me, but I don't have any in my pantry. But those are just a few examples of ingredients that are kind of, you would not find in probably many modern cookbooks today. Another thing for the cooking portion of this series, I personally really enjoy historical YouTube channels where they kind of take you into that time of whatever the topic is that they're talking about. I enjoy the channel Early American. If you check them out and subscribe to them, they're awesome. It's a couple, and often they will be in this cabin. It's kind of like an 1820s replicant, and there's no sound, there's no talking, there's like a fire crackling in the back. You really get a sense of what life was like at the time. We are so inundated with constant noise and distractions, and I'm just as guilty as anyone, if not more so. I always have a podcast or something playing in the background. But for these, I am just going to show you the cooking and a picture of the recipe. I'm not going to do a voiceover for them. I might do like a little music for whatever the time period is of the recipes, or like the sound of a fireplace in the background. But I really don't want it to be an overproduced thing. I want you to kind of be able to sink back into the time when the recipe was handed down and get a vibe for what it sounded like back then. So I will get into it now and share the cooking with you. And I'll put up the recipe now for the banana cream. I keep saying banana cream. It's just a banana pie. And I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the video for more. And let me know what recipes you'd like to see next.